rewriting your story from where you start to where you belong. Have you ever looked at your life and thought, this isn't where I was supposed to end up? That moment when you realize the story you're living doesn't match the one you imagined for yourself. Maybe it's because life threw you a curveball, becoming a mother at 14, facing discrimination in your career, or simply feeling like your past has permanently defined your future. I've recently had the profound privilege of interviewing Nicole Quann, whose insights have transformed not just my understanding of resilience and reinvention, but the lives of countless women across the country. Nicole isn't just a thought leader, she's a force of nature who has dedicated her life to helping others rewrite their narratives when society had already written them off. Her work has created ripples of transformation that have turned into waves of change in communities where hope was once a luxury few could afford. What Nicole illuminated for me was a truth we desperately need to hear. Your starting point does not define your destination. This isn't just motivational fluff. This is the reality that has shaped the journeys of countless women who refuse to let their beginnings write their endings. Think about it. We're constantly told that certain paths are closed to us based on where we start. Too young, wrong background, not enough education, too many responsibilities. The narratives pile up like bricks, building walls around our potential. But what if those walls are just illusions? What if they're merely projections of other people's limitations? Dr. Omolara Uwemedimo certainly thought so. I want you to picture this woman for a moment, brilliant, determined, facing a healthcare system that wasn't designed with her leadership in mind. As a physician navigating the complex landscape of medicine, she encountered barrier after barrier: systemic racism, lack of funding, skepticism about her leadership abilities. The traditional path seemed determined to exclude her. So, what did she do? She built her own path. When faced with a locked door, most people knock politely. Some people knock louder. Dr. Uwemedimo, she built a whole new house. She founded Melanin in Medicine, recognizing that the system wasn't designed for Black professionals in healthcare entrepreneurship. Instead of accepting this limitation, she created a consulting firm specifically supporting organizations serving communities of color. The results speak volumes. In less than 2 years, without loans or investors, let me emphasize that, without traditional capital that so often comes with strings attached that strangle vision, she secured $1 million in funding. But more importantly, she enabled dozens of healthcare organizations led by Black professionals to scale their impact without compromising their vision or ownership. This isn't just success, it's disruption. It's rewriting the rules of what's possible. And she's not alone. Consider Nicole Love Hendrickson. When she looked at Georgia's largest county government board, she didn't see anyone who looked like her. She became the first African American person and only the third woman to chair Gwinnett County's Board of Commissioners. The path to that historic achievement wasn't laid out for her. She had to forge it herself, navigating racial barriers and skepticism about her capabilities. Did she let that stop her? Absolutely not. She leveraged her education, developed grassroots leadership training programs like the Gwinnett Neighborhood Leadership Institute, and implemented authentic civic engagement strategies. Through initiatives like the Gwinnett 101 Citizens Academy, she improved public trust in local government and created sustainable pathways for diverse community members to step into civic leadership roles. What strikes me about Nicole Love Hendrickson's story isn't just what she achieved, but how she achieved it by bringing others along with her. She didn't just break the ceiling, she installed a permanent staircase for those coming after her. These women embody what Nicole Quann emphasized in our interview. Resilience isn't just about surviving hardship, it's about transforming it into purpose. But here's where many of us get stuck. We look at these success stories and think, well, they must be exceptional. They must have something I don't have. Let me stop you right there. That's the trap. That's the story we tell ourselves to stay comfortable in our limitations. That's the lie that keeps you small. The truth? These women face the same doubts you're facing right now, the same fears, the same internal voice saying, who do you think you are? What made the difference wasn't some magical quality they possessed. It was their willingness to listen to a different voice, the voice of wisdom from those who came before them. This is the second crucial insight from my conversation with Nicole Quann. The wisdom of those who came before us, family, elders, mentors, can become guiding lights as we grow, even if their lessons don't make sense at first. We all have those moments from childhood. A grandmother saying that seemed nonsensical, a parent's strict rule that felt unfair, a teacher's push that seemed too hard. Years later, we find ourselves in situations where suddenly those lessons click into place, becoming the very wisdom that saves us from ourselves. For many women in the Black community, these ancestral wisdoms have been lifelines, phrases passed down through generations that carry the resilience of those who survived unimaginable hardships so that we could have opportunities they never did. When they go low, we go high. Your education is something nobody can take from you. This too shall pass. God doesn't give you more than you can handle. Simple phrases, profound impact. They remind us that we're not the first to walk difficult paths. We're continuing journeys that began long before us. But wisdom doesn't just come from the past, it also emerges from our present communities, from mentors who see potential in us that we can't yet see in ourselves. This brings me to the work of Notes with Nicole within the Early Childhood Service Corps. Here's a platform where Nicole collaborates with retired executives, nonprofit leaders, and business consultants to mentor professionals entering child and family focused nonprofit work. Many of these new entrants face imposter syndrome or doubt due to non traditional career starts or personal hardships. Sound familiar? Through mentorship sessions, participants gain practical guidance rooted both in lived experience overcoming adversity and professional expertise. The result? Participants report greater confidence launching initiatives serving vulnerable children and families. They build inclusive peer networks where authenticity is celebrated alongside achievement, setting new standards for what successful leadership looks like among Black women and nonprofit founders. This is the power of mentorship, not just advice giving, but story sharing, showing others that their struggles aren't unique or disqualifying. They're often the very experiences that will make them exceptional leaders. Which brings me to Nicole Quann's third powerful insight. Embracing your story and sharing it authentically can inspire others in the community to pursue their own dreams unapologetically and break generational cycles. We often hide the messy parts of our journeys, the failures, the mistakes, the detours. We polish our narratives until they shine with artificial perfection, thinking that's what will inspire others. But that's not how inspiration works. Real inspiration comes from authenticity, from seeing someone acknowledge their struggles and move forward anyway. It comes from vulnerability that says, yes, this happened to me, and yes, I'm still standing. Nicole herself overcame early motherhood and adversity, but now leverages her story so others feel seen, not shamed. For where they start out professionally and personally, she helped build a network where authenticity is celebrated, not hidden away. This is revolutionary, especially for Black women who have been conditioned to present strength at all costs, to never show weakness, to handle everything without complaint. The strong Black woman trope has been both armor and prison. It's protected us in hostile environments, but prevented us from accessing the vulnerability needed for deep healing and connection. What if we could be both strong and soft, both resilient and vulnerable, both accomplished and still becoming? This is the journey many of us are on, learning to drop the superwoman cape, learning that softness is not weakness but a radical act of self love, learning that our stories shared honestly become bridges for others to cross over their own limitations. I see this transformation happening in communities across the country. Women who were told their early motherhood would limit their futures becoming powerful advocates for family support systems. Professionals who faced discrimination creating new pathways for others like them. Leaders who experienced trauma developing healing centered approaches to organizational culture. They're not just succeeding despite their stories, they're succeeding because of them. Because those experiences gave them insights, empathy, and determination that can't be taught in any classroom. So, where does this leave you? What's the invitation here? It's not just to rewrite your story, it's to tear up the script entirely. Your starting point, whether it was privilege or pain, advantage or adversity, is just that, a starting point. It's the first sentence in a story that you get to continue writing every single day. And yes, there will be chapters of struggle, pages you wish you could tear out, paragraphs that make you wince when you read them back, but there will also be moments of unexpected beauty, plot twists that surprise you with their perfection, characters who enter your story precisely when you need them most. The question isn't whether your story will contain difficulty, it will. The question is whether you'll allow those difficulties to become defining or transformative. I challenge you today, not tomorrow, not next week, but today, to take one deliberate action that defies the narrative you've been given. Share your story with someone who needs to hear it. Mentor someone walking a path you've already traveled. Create something that wouldn't exist if you believed the limitations others placed on you. Because when you rewrite your story, you're not just changing your own narrative, you're creating a new possibility in the collective imagination. You're saying to everyone watching, if I can reimagine my life, so can you. Your story isn't finished yet. The most beautiful chapters may still be unwritten, and the wisdom you need for the road ahead, it's already within you, around you, and before you, in the voices of those who've walked similar paths and in the courage of your own heart that has brought you this far already. So stand up, speak up, show up as the author of your own life, not just a character in someone else's story. The world is waiting for the truth only you can tell, the path only you can forge, the light only you can shine. Your starting point is history. Your destination is still being written. And the pen, it's in your hand. What will you write next?